Hey Facebook family and friends, welcome to another episode of Purpose. Today I'm going to do another vlog about something that I just felt God put on my heart. Freedom from fear was one of them. I've had to experience that in my own life. Fear comes in all different forms. It could be anxiety, worry, dread. How many of you have ever felt any of those words? Because I know that I have. I actually dealt with anxiety in college. I was going to Walmart really late at night once. And while we were there in line getting ready to check out, I just noticed these guys behind me, two of them being a little bit sketchy. And I immediately was filled with this fear, truthfully, of, oh my gosh, they're gonna do something. Something bad's about to happen. I just knew it. And so I just started praying. I'm like, dear God, like, what am I supposed to do? So one of the guys went over to the door and was standing at the door texting and looking outside. So I'm like, oh my God, like, he's texting the guys outside, telling them we're about to be coming out. I'm just like, I've got to get to the car. Like, we have to get to the car. So as we start walking, there's this car parked diagonally from mine, and all of a sudden 3 guys jump out of it and start walking toward us. And I told the girl I was with, I'm like, get in the back of my car. So she jumps in the back, I get in, shut the door, lock it, start the car, and I'm like, go away, like freaking out, but trying to get them to stop. And 2 of them jumped back in their car. One of them kept walking towards us, and I'm trying to like start backing up. And I noticed him like looking at the back of my car, and his face went from like this like arrogant pride to fear. And so I'm like, what is he looking at? Like, all of a sudden he starts backing away from me and away from my car as he's looking at the back of my car. I don't know what he saw, but I truly believe it was an angel. So as he starts backing away, I put the car in reverse and quickly get out of there. So that situation ended up causing a lot of anxiety in my life. I was having a hard time going to any little store, to the mall, whatever it was. I just felt anxious all the time. It started consuming my life, and it bothered me. I don't appreciate when something comes in and starts ruining my life, causing me to not do what I normally would do. And so once I recognized that, I really had to start praying and asking God to really free me from it. When we want to experience freedom and fear, we really have to start opening the Bible and seeing what God has to say about it. Some of the verses that I found, which by the way, there are so many. And one of my favorites that I read the other day was Psalm 34:4, and it said, God met me halfway. He freed me from my anxious fear. And I think that's such a beautiful verse, because God isn't one to just disregard what you're going through, to disregard the fear that you have, or act like the anxiousness that you're feeling is irrelevant. He realizes that that is a tactic that the enemy is gonna use and will use to try and keep us from living our lives. So it just reminds me that like God knew what we were gonna face. He knew before this season brought you the anxiety that you're going through. He knew before that situation happened that's causing you to tremble in fear on the daily, that that would be something you were gonna face. So he, in his graciousness and in his love, wrote it in his Bible so that we could constantly read it, saying not to be afraid of the future, not to worry, not to be anxious, but to pray, to just come to him in all of your anxiety, and his burden is light. There are so many verses about it, and God is so faithful to deliver on them when we truly seek freedom. Those lies and those thoughts, though they seem real, they're not truth. And we have to start counteracting them with the truth, and that is the truth in the Word. And the one thing to always remember is we already won the fight. The victory is ours. Jesus came to give us life abundantly, and he did it. It's done. It is finished. It is ours to have. It is not for the enemy to steal from you, though he's gonna try. It's not for him to have, and you have to start fighting that fight and believing that and standing up for the freedom that God's given you. So the last thing I wanna say, which so many of us know, and if we were in a church, I would let you finish it off, who the Son sets free is free indeed.